Prescott has looked pretty good, but Tannehill has the Browns at home, and I think he's gonna light up. So I give that advantage to Vandalay Industries. On as far as running backs though, RBs has LaShawn McCoy and David Johnson for the Cardinals against Ryan Matthews and Melvin Gordon for the Chargers. I see this as a huge advantage for RBs. Huge advantage for RBs. McCoy and Johnson, they are projected to go for 11 and 20 respectively. So, I mean, the other guys aren't even projected to go double digits. Double digits. What do you mean no one heard me? What do you mean no one heard me? Technical difficulties. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? It's not my fault. I started the damn thing the same way I start everyone. So it's not like I did anything different. So I don't need any critiques from the peanut gallery. You just settle down now. Settle down now. Okay? Back to what we're going. I'm sure when I post it, it'll probably fill in the volume and it'll be there. You didn't really miss anything. Okay, game of the week's Vandalay Industries against I'm Thinking Arby's in the Great White North. There, you're all caught up now. So away we go. Quarterbacks, you got Prescott against Tannehill. Tannehill got Browns at home. Picking Tannehill as the advantage in that. RBs has the advantage at running backs. At wide receiver with T.Y. Hilton and Brandon Cooks against Vandalay Industries, Jermaine Kearse and Kelvin Benjamin. Give the advantage there to wide receiver as well. At tight end, you've got Zach Miller against Gary Barnidge for Vandalay. I got to give the advantage to Zach Miller as well for RBs. Pretty much, I give the advantage also at flex with Golden Tate over Cole Beasley for RBs as well. So pretty much everybody on offense, I think RBs has a little bit of advantage except for the quarterback position where I would give to Vandalay. Now on the other side of the ball, however, with your kicker, your defense, and all of the individual defensive players, I'm really leaning in the direction of Vandalay Industries with those. So it's really going to come down to kind of an offense against defense type thing, I think, this week on how these teams fare. So with all that taken into account, and will Vandalay move to 3-0 and remain sitting atop the Great White North? Or will RBs start to stake claim to the division they have dominated for years? Let's see. I'm 1-1. You know, I picked Cheesehead last week and they let me down, so I want to make sure I try to pick this one right. So I'm going to go with RBs. I think typically the powerhouse in this division. Vandalay has won 2 big games, but can they do it 3 in a row? We'll see. Guess we'll see. We will see. So, game of the week. I'm thinking RBs to take down Vandalay Industries and hand them their first loss. So that's where we're at with that. This week, in addition to the game of the week, I also see 2 must-win games. In week 3, there are 4 winless teams sitting at 0-2. 4 of those teams play each other. They also play each other in division. So you have the winless 5-3 Bandits playing the winless Oski Assassins. That means one of them is definitely going to 0-3. And that is not a good start to your fantasy season at all. Also in the Dirty South, you have another must-win game going on between myself, the Big Mac Attack, and Beaver Street Roar. Both of us also 0-2. One of us will also start the season 0-3. Unless, of course, there's a tie in one of those 2 games, which is highly unlikely. But, so, needless to say, those are 2 huge games. Those are must-win games. Those are in division. Somebody's not going to be happy this week. I'm playing Beaver Street Roar. They're only projected to get 99 points. So, they're not projecting a shootout in either one of these games. and none of these 4 teams, including myself included in these 4 teams, has put up points this season. Now, I see that as my team was upwardly trending last week and did much better, and I think we'll do even better this week. So, Beaver Street Roar, better be ready. The powerhouse does seem to be in the basement currently, but it's only week 2. It's only week 2. The season is young, but this is a must-win for myself. I'm gonna put it out there for those 4 teams. I'm included. This is a must-win week. 0-3 in a 14-week regular season. That's death. That's not good. That's not being in a good place. Not being in a good place at all. Alrighty. So, I've had some other questions about the IR spot, so I want to hit that briefly. You have 6 bench spots. You have the option of a 7th one that you can place somebody on IR in that spot. It has to have right behind their name, IR. On fantasy football, the IR. Do not move them in there if it says anything else back there. That is for somebody on injured reserve. That is it. Now, I understand it means basically jack this year because we don't have keepers. So why would you even want to carry somebody on injured reserve when you're not going to be able to keep them and carry them in the next season anyway? I understand that. It's basically pointless this year. But we want to get people used to how it works for next year. And I've got good feedback from several owners that like the idea of having it there. And, already talked one through how to use it earlier this evening. So I think it'll be obviously a plus for every other year besides this one, but this one is kind of a season in itself. It's a little different strategy this year. Got to approach it just a little different, but the competition is going to be, the level will be the same. Just got to approach it a little differently this year than you typically would. So, all right. So, game of the week. Great White North, Vandelay Industries. I'm thinking RBs. I am taking RBs to win. Game of the week, week 3. Must win games. Got 4 hanging out there. 2 0-2 battles. Oski Assassins against the 5-3 Bandits. One's leaving 0-3. You have Big Mac Attack, Beaver Street Roar. One's leaving 0-3. Those games are huge. Remember, all trades need 48-hour approval time from the minute they post. No exceptions. I see trades getting kicked around out there, and I'm surprised I haven't seen one come through yet, but I'm sure one will come soon. So, let 48 hours. Week 3 is here. Are you ready for the challenge? Good luck. Game on.